Before we took a deep dive into consumer psychology, I left you after we imported the products we sourced from Roberlo into Shopify. Now, it's time to make engaging product pages for these products. Applying the retail analogy that I love, if your website is a digital storefront, then your product page is the combination of the display in retail and also the sales associate in the store that actually tries to sell the products to customers. So remember that your landing page or a website, your homepage, convinces visitors of your brand, that it's trustworthy and engaging. The product page is your chance to convince visitors of your actual products, the literal items in your store that people will choose whether or not to open their wallets for. In a way, it's kind of like a direct sales pitch to the consumer about a particular product. This is an area that a lot of e-commerce entrepreneurs like to neglect. But that's a very grave mistake, because no matter how engaging your website is, or ads are, or how great your targeting strategy is, a bad product page ruins the sale. Again, that's your final chance to convince a customer that they should buy this product. With that said, I'm going to give you the 4 components of an effective product page. Component number 1 is going to be product images that are professional and communicate trust. You'll notice with major brands that consistency is a big factor. This can be hard to achieve sometimes with AliExpress products because it's the agents that took the pictures and not you, but it's still very possible. We're going to try to maintain consistency at the very least at the collection level, meaning when they click onto the homepage or the collection, the images they see representing those products or the first image is all consistent. Everything on that page should look consistent as if one agency took all of these photos. Also, don't worry, I'm gonna have a lesson on turning even the most sketchy AliExpress product photos into professional collection photos. This means that you should never, never, never have a situation where there are lifestyle photos next to product images on black backgrounds, next to product images on white backgrounds. That's just a cluttered and disorganized mess. Component 2 is an effective description of the product that's being sold. This is your chance to pitch your product via text as something that your customers should buy. This should be a combination of basic facts about the product as well as a vivid description that brings your product to life. And don't worry, there's going to be a later lesson in this course on just describing your products, so hang tight. Component number 3 of the product page is boosters of consumer trust and reassurance of purchase. Keep in mind from the customer's perspective that they've never heard about your brand before, and this is their first time interacting with you as a merchant. This can be a very scary experience, even if they're impulsive buyers and you've already captured their interest with your ads. Anything you can do at this point that can reassure them will go a very long way. For example, I sell a lot of apparel and accessories, and something that I do on every single product page is include a sizing chart. Furthermore, I include my returns and exchange policy on every product page as well, so consumers can feel confident they're not about to get scammed, and there's full transparency in the post-purchase experience and the customer service that we're gonna offer. Did I just pull these characteristics of an effective product page out of thin air? Nope. Not only has this approach made me millions of dollars, it's also what your favorite big brands are doing. So just to give this example some even more light, let's take a dive into e-commerce giant Warby Parker's website and product page, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Here in Warby Parker's website, let's take a look at their product pages. Again, I like using them as examples so many times because they are such a great e-commerce success story, and there's a lot of learnings we can actually take for our brand and niche dropshipping store from a brand like Warby Parker. So remember, the criteria for an effective product page is these 3 components, right? The product images have to be professional and trustworthy. It has to have an effective description of the product that's being sold. And then also there has to be some sort of reassurance of purchase and additional trust that's being built at the product page level. It's another chance to pitch the consumer to say, hey, buy this product, you won't regret it. So let's take a look at what Warby Parker does, right? First off, product images, very, very professional, very clean. They've obviously invested money into photographing this stuff. And this is at the level of sourcing, right? You can get these images too. It just means you have to source products with the creative assets already made for you by the AliExpress supplier that you can turn into something like this. If these glasses were on AliExpress and there were these images and maybe things were on different backgrounds, we just simply clean that background and it'll look just like this, right? But of course, check, they passed this level. Next one is gonna be the effective description of the product that's being sold. So Brennan, with its perfectly smooth rectangular lenses, keyhole bridge, and slender acetate framework, is simplicity at its finest. See how this description is all about combining traits that is basically tactically communicating the features of the product as well as communicating the emotions associated with it, right? Think about words like perfectly, slender, smooth, simplicity at its finest. These have nothing to do with the actual material, things like that. It just gives you a really good feeling when you're reading this, right? And there's some additional descriptions here made from hand-polished cellulose acetate, Aculone coated screws for durability. It just sounds awesome, right? It's available in wide and extra wide, variety of prescription lens types. So I would say effective description of the product that's being sold, 100%. And I think Warby Parker did a great job knowing that eyeglasses, they're not wow products. They don't have crazy features. No one ever looks for like a crazy pair of glasses, right? They just want to get the job done. They want to see better and something that looks nice and is going to be durable and feels good. And this simple, short description works perfectly for a niche like eyeglasses. So number one has been checked. Number two is definitely a check as well. Let's think about the reassurance of purchase and establishing additional trust. So let's go down here. The fact that it has this picture of where the packaging comes from, great booster of additional trust. Everything that's included, right? It tells you there's prescription lenses, frame case, lens cloth, and again, description of the policy, the customer service policies on here. Free shipping, 30-day, hassle-free return, exchange policy. Replace your scratch lenses are free within first 12 months. Great practice. So, a consumer comes onto here. They may have never heard of Warby Parker before. They scroll down, great description. They see all these features, and this is the reassurance of trust. Did Warby Parker have to include this in here? No, because it's already in here in the footer. There's a reason why they decided to put it at the product page level and why I want you to as well, to reassure the customer that, hey, you're not going to get screwed from this purchase, and to answer questions they have in their head without them having to email you. As little friction as you have between the customer entering the product page and buying is your highest odds of success, right? You don't want to omit information that a customer may want to know, but have to reach out for you to actually get. What if they decide not to email and they just think, oh, well, I don't know the returns policy, I'm just going to exit, right? You're fighting for a customer's attention span. So Warby Parker did all three of these things. Now, I'm going to show you some dropshipping sites and we're going to walk through them and see if they also fit the criteria that we went through. So this is a website, nvstudio.la, and it's streetwear, and they've done a great job with the homepage. They've done some shoots, added this GIF banner, this video. Really professional for a dropshipping business. Applause to them for doing this, but these are all AliExpress products. Let's take a look at their product page because that's what we're going to be reviewing today. So our NV Studio design clothing, signature pieces from our collection. Each piece were carefully designed and fitted, made in small batches for a small consumer base. Overproduction does not happen in our company. If there's a problem, our team stand by 24/7. So pretty good, right? It isn't really describing this particular product, but it does, again, reassure you, right? And let's take a look at the images. Okay, awesome. So definitely I would say the images passes test number one. These images are high quality. The uniform is even got some lifestyle ones. Really great. So I'm going to give it a check for that one. Looking at the description, they had kind of a generic one, and they have the size and fit. They have this care thing, and it's a pretty minimal description. Maybe they could have gone a little bit better and maybe made up something about,
the creative vision behind this particular design. That could have added an additional flair, but this isn't bad. And I think along with streetwear, a lot of streetwear brands do have these sort of very, very simple descriptions. So I wouldn't say it's an amazing description, but it definitely gets the job done. So I'm going to give it a checkpoint for criteria number 2 as well. And finally, reassurance of purchase and additional trust. There is a sizing guide here, which does reassure your purchase, right? Legitimate brands provide sizing guides with clothing, so a customer knows, hey, if I just know my measurements, I'm gonna fit. And a lot of times customers don't even look at the sizing guide, but the fact that there is one, they'll just click on it and say, hey, this is pretty legit, there is a sizing guide, and they'll just pick their normal size anyways. And care, machine wash, hang to dry. But I think one thing that is missing here is the returns policy and the customer treatment. They do say they have 24/7 support, which is great. It reassures the customer in another layer. They have the sizing guide, but there's nothing here that says, hey, hassle-free returns or free exchanges, something like that. And I bet this is a business that does offer that, and maybe emphasizing the fact that it is free shipping worldwide. So there was a missed opportunity there. I would say that in terms of reassurance and additional trust, they kind of got it halfway. There's a sizing guide and there's also this sort of care guide, but they could have gone a little bit further to make a customer confident. Let's look at another dropshipping site. This one's called PokeTime. Again, I'm only reviewing the product page. Not even gonna think about the home page. So going to the product page, they sell roses. It's a brand new niche store that's selling these roses. Let's take a look at their images first. So pretty professional. This is pretty cool. They did some photoshopping to get this done. Have that watermark there so no one can rip them off. I would say it's pretty HD images and it's very continuous. There's no like white background ones and then like green background ones. Everything is kind of this lifestyle. It makes sense for this thing to be on a gray background. So I'm going to give this thing a check that it is professional and trustworthy. Let's take a look at the effective description of the product that's being sold. So okay, all roses are buy 2 get 1 free. Holiday season we're donating a rose for each one sold. So that's kind of cool, right? Introducing our Galaxy Rose, the kaleidoscope rose that lasts forever. Roses don't have to be just for special occasions. Now you can surround yourself with luxury and admire roses every day of the year. Great work over here, right? This has nothing to do with the actual features of the product. It's really trying to communicate something psychological and emotional. Galaxy roses are gracefully designed to last for eternity, right? Notice these buzzwords. Handcrafted by professionals, and they even bolded this to emphasize it with precision and quality. The roses are eye-catching. Very, very good stuff. Light up your life. Get the roses you've dreamed of. Very, very awesome. And they even put these GIFs or these images inside the description, which is easy to do on Shopify. So they went above and beyond. Petals and leaves are made from holographic polyethylene to give sparkling effect. Key features. Wow. Okay, so I would say this description is dynamite. Really, really good. Definitely past number 2. Let's take number 3, reassurance of purchase and consumer trust. So the fact that they were really transparent due to high demand, orders placed after December 4th may arrive after Christmas. That's great already. They're transparent. Satisfaction guaranteed, right? For any reason, if you decide you are not satisfied, you can easily and quickly contact our customer support to get an easy refund. So again, reassure the consumer that they're not going to get screwed if they happen to not be satisfied. I think they could have got a step beyond and maybe included their FAQ alongside in the product page. The product page is a little long, so it's fine. Maybe that's why they didn't include it. But overall, I would say these product pages satisfy all 3, right? Very, very good stuff. And this dropshipper really knows what they're doing. Looks like the final one. This is a website called Earthpack, and it sells basically dry bags. And these dry bags can also be found on AliExpress. We're going to ignore the website. Let's go into the product page and see how it's done. First thing is product images are professional and trustworthy. Very good, right? Everything is on a white background. These guys have gone ahead and even branded their product, which is great. Lifestyle images as well. So clearly invested some money into making these photos. Definitely passed that criteria. Number 2, effective description of the product that's being sold. Let's take a look. There's nothing like the original. Our original dry bag is our flagship product and perfect for those who want to pack light, okay, but still have quality, heavy-duty gear that will protect valuable possessions from the outdoors. It's everything you need for a day trip without being a bulky hassle to carry. Made with thick, waterproof, adjustable. So this one is very, very features heavy. They don't really go for like the emotional vibe of it. And maybe for this niche, this sort of adventure products, people really only care about the features. So that's perfectly fine. And oh wow, so when you click on these tabs is when it gets even more depth, right? They have a video for this one that they made, another video. So in terms of description, I would say it wasn't that vividly descriptive here, but they make up for it because they do have some additional creative content. And I'm gonna show you how to add videos to the product page level as well. So very cool over here. And let's see the final criteria: reassurance of purchase and additional trust. Yup, right here, shipping, right? It gives you that shipping. It tells you the time. The one thing it does miss is I don't see anything here that talks about the returns and customer service policy, which if they would have said, hey, it's hassle-free returns, free exchanges as well, that probably would have done a little bit more for reassurance. So I'm going to say that they knocked out number 1 and number 2 out of the park. Could have done a little bit better job with number 3, but hopefully after these case studies, you really understand what makes an effective product page and why some of these really pristine dropshippers, right? Dropshippers that take you to the next level are satisfying most of these qualities.